Hello and welcome back, everyone. With me right now, I have Plagazi, represented by Torsten and Gustav, CEO and CFO. Please, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. We are a company of Plagazi, and my name is Torsten Granberg, and I have 40 years of experience within the field of process industry around Europe and Americas. And I'm a master degree in chemical engineering, and I've been heading different companies on the C-level, like gas company of AGA, Studsvik, and gas compressors, another type of industries. And I've been since 2008 running the Plagazi company, where I did 2008 look at the plasma gasifier in Russia, where I saw the outgoing clean gases and filed for a patent, which was granted later on. That's now the base for the whole Plagazi company. And together with me, I have Gustav. Who are you?
Yes. Hi, nice to meet you all. My name is Gustav Grenberg. I'm the CFO of Plagazi. This is a family company, so hence the common last name. I have a background in finance as leading multiple consumer goods for Procter & Gamble for multiple years. And then once the hydrogen economy started growing, obviously the first choice was to join Torsten and the rest of the team to grow Plagazi forward. So today we're here to present Plagazi, a company built on the patented process of producing green hydrogen out of difficult waste or waste which is hard to recycle today. And the key concept and the key reason to why we're here to talk to all of you is because in the background we have a significant global warming problem. We have a need to find renewable solutions to producing energy, but also the need to take care of our growing waste issue that we have around Europe and the rest of the world. I mean, just as an example, we all are aware of the insane CO2 emissions that come out of the treatment of plastics, the amount of CO2 that is emitted while burning the plastic itself. So behind this also there is a growing need for an establishment of a climate strategy. So in the last years, not only the UN, but also the big organizations within Europe has put a huge emphasis on making sure that we find renewable ways of producing green hydrogen, but also taking care in a circular way of the waste that we have in motion. That has led to the fact that green hydrogen has become the talking point and really the new strategy forward into making our climate neutral or making our society neutral by 2050, and also become the way that green hydrogen should be the sustainable way of taking care of replacing grey hydrogen production and usage, but also other fossil fuels. Hence, we see a huge market growth over the next coming years. So this is where we come into the picture. So as mentioned earlier by Torsten, we have the patented process on taking care of waste which today has no real value. So waste which is incinerated or put on landfills because we have no good way of treating it. So what we can offer and what our patent and our process does is the fact that we can take care of this waste and produce hydrogen and CO2 out of it, which has a value. And the CO2 in this manner is captured in a liquid form to be reused in other industries or stored away. So what we can offer is that we can offer a very high in demand product that will grow the growing and will help grow the growing energy market. Also, we can do so in a very cost efficient manner. So we have a very we'll talk about it a bit later, but a very cost-efficient manner on how we take care and produce the hydrogen. And also, we can reduce emissions significantly, not only because the fact that we can take care of waste which is otherwise incinerated, but also we can also replace the grey hydrogen and also fossil fuels in industry, transport, etc. So today, we have, or for the last couple of years, since the hydrogen market started growing, Plagazi has been fighting very hard to ensure that we have a competitive and strong customer portfolio. So we have wanted very since our early stage, become a European company and stretched our projects and customers across multiple markets, as you can see here. Our main goal is to have the first Plagazi unit in motion and running in 2024. And this is what we're working hard to do and really to grow and scale the business further. So how does the process work, Torsten?
Yeah, it works that way. We are taking care of non-recyclable waste to take care of a waste problem, which we put into a plasma gasifier that treats the waste up to high temperature, more than 3,000 degrees, and then take away all the molecules and destroy the whole thing and just produce pure syngas. And from there, we're going to create a lot of energy from the outgoing gases, and also taking care if there are some standard or some chlorine in the waste. And also we're going to clean it up all the way to pure hydrogen and pure CO2. And we're going to utilize the energy in the waste that can't be taken care of and use it internally, which makes the whole process very competitive. So we're just going to need 1/5 of the energy compared to what electrolyzers need for hydrogen production. And also we're going to produce quite a lot of hydrogen from this type of unit compared to what another type of hydrogen production can do.
Yeah, so as a finance guy, it's my role also to point out that this process, we are taking care of a problem, a waste problem, and producing hydrogen out of this problem that can be used to drive the energy sector forward, and also create a renewable means of helping other type of industry and households. Very important to say here that is also that we get paid for taking care of the waste because there is a problem. We also get paid of any type of rest products that comes out of the gasification stage, such as metals, which we can sell to metal refineries. We also, of course, have a value from the hydrogen, and of course, also a value from the outgoing liquid and captured CO2, which can be used to sell to different type of industries, or to store it away and selling the carbon credits from the process. So all in all, it's a very enclosed, efficient, and energy efficient process, which means that the production cost is very competitive. So this is a very nice idea on paper, and for us it was very important to find and to build our proof of concept to ensure that we can prove this on a large scale basis. In front of you, you have the intake plant in Arlington, US. This is a full-scale production plant that treats waste in a plasma gasification process, same way we will do it. This is owned by Inentech, who is the company who will provide and supply the plasma gasification step in our process. They are our exclusive partner for Europe. They will be the supplier of this step, and it fits like a hand in the glove in our patented process, which is the patent on producing hydrogen and liquefied CO2 out of waste. One thing to mention here that's very important is that the plants that we're planning and building right now in Europe are the same size versus this one you have in front of you, meaning the fact that there's no scale-up risk, and we'll deploy the same type of size across all our portfolio to ensure that we can have efficient go-to-market, and also ensure that we can have a good way of really building the company forward. So as I mentioned earlier, this size that we're talking about is the so-called HE2000 plant. This is our design that is based on the size that you have in Inentech on that plasma gasification oven that they have and supply. This is 8 modules in this plant, so 8 sub-steps, one from the waste preparation all the way up to the hydrogen production or the hydrogen outlet. This is a standardized Plagazi size. We do not want, as mentioned earlier, no scale-up risk, no issues with that manner. We want to keep it very simple and standardized across all our projects to ensure that the fact that we can go to market quicker and have no risk when running the plant. This is all based on our and Torsten's experience of managing the on-site supply units in AGA and how to, in the most efficient manner, work this forward. So the size and the dimensions of such a plant, as you see here in front of you, you have a little visual on the plant that we have in the US, is the fact that this unit can treat 22,000 tons of waste a year. It produces up to 5,000 tons of hydrogen a year and 50,000 tons of CO2 a year. This can be done at a production cost below 3 euros per kilogram of hydrogen. So here we are talking about that we can build the hydrogen market at a very competitive production cost today, and which we are currently in the ranges of what's required for the year 2030 and above. When you talk to electrolyzers, we can today produce green hydrogen at a very competitive cost because of the fact that we, according to this size in front of you, can get paid for the waste in. We have a low electricity and energy consumption externally because we take care of the waste that has a lot of energy inside that we can reuse, and we have a very high output per kilogram of hydrogen put in. So I don't know if we get a big picture of that business model slide, because I think it's very important for the viewers to see exactly the dimensions of this. But this is how it looks, and this is the volumes that can be produced each year. For the customer, of course, it's also very attractive, because based on a very reduced hydrogen selling price, they can have a break even already after 5 years because of the low production cost that we can achieve. So also very important to mention is that the fact that we have a very low CO2 footprint, a negative one in that matter. This is certified by DNV, one of the biggest certification agencies in the world, which has certified that we have, since we take care and replace incineration of difficult waste types such as plastics and capture the CO2, we're a net reducer of CO2 in the environment. So we have not only a competitive production cost, innovative technology, we also have a very strong CO2 footprint, which is today is very important when talking to customers and market and investors. So who are we? I mean, Plagazi has developed significantly in the last years. From being a family company, we have now tried to grow the organization and want to do so further. We have strengthened our board of directors, but the newest additions are Georgios Chatzimarkakis, which is the CEO of Hydrogen Europe, the biggest hydrogen organization in Europe. Valérie Dujardin, which has invaluable experience within taking care and financing renewable projects, and has previously been running and leading Symbiotics in Switzerland. You have also Richard Fish, which was the previous CEO and chairman of Alter Energy, or also known as Westinghouse Plasma, but the biggest plasma gasification company in the world at the time. So as a plasma gasification company, it's very important for us to have such leadership a part of our team. Moreover, in our advisory board, which is also very important, they help us. We have a very active advisory and board of directors that help us strategically also with day-to-day basis. We have Dr. Stefan Kaufmann, who is the current commissioner for green hydrogen in Germany. So he's the one who leads the German hydrogen strategy. So a very important member in our go-to-market when it comes to the German projects. Jürgen Andersson, which is the former Minister of Interior and Energy, also chairman of Vattenfall, has been a member of our advisory board for many years. Tuvia Johannesson, former managing director of Volvo Cars, who helps us a lot with the automobile industry and how to make sure we can get the most value out. Thomas Kåberger, who is a board member currently of Vattenfall and former head of the Swedish Energy Agency, also a member for a long time. We have one of our customers, our German customer outside Berlin. Their CEO, Christian Gerstedt, is not only an investor and shareholder in Plagazi, he also believes in this very well to help us as an advisor to grow our foothold in Germany from a waste to hydrogen perspective. Jakob Lagerkrantz, who is the founder and CEO of Secretariat 2030 or 2030. And also the latest addition, Sven Otto Littorin, which is the former Minister of Employment and Labor in Sweden, who helps us to clearly define and communicate our company strategy forward. So this is us. This is who we are. It was a pleasure to present to all of you. And hopefully you want to be part of a way forward in how to really lead the green hydrogen market.
Thank you very much for an excellent presentation. I'm going to start off with some questions on the hydrogen market in general. How do you see that develop in the next 3 to 5 years?
The hydrogen market will develop heavily. It will start with the green part, small volumes, and end up with larger scale coming out with new type of green hydrogen, and also starting with us, due to the fact that we are ready to get going, and we're going to do it in a certain way outside the box differently, because we're going to take care of the waste, which is a problem, and we're going to produce green hydrogen at a very competitive level, which means you can enable application and usage you're not able to do right now on a green base. So we will be the trigger to get this market to start.
Yes, I currently heard that in Japan, they're currently trying out a new hydrogen-fueled train, and also Airbus have announced plans to have an aeroplane in a commercially viable aeroplane in 2035. That is of course a bit further down the line, but still, also reading about boats also being powered by hydrogen and other biogases. So for sure, the market of hydrogen is growing. What separates your technology from your competitors?
There's quite a different things. We are first utilizing a waste that does exist, a problem does exist that we solve. We take care of that, and then we treat it heavily in high temperature, which means that we can able to capture the CO2 and then produce pure hydrogen on a fuel cell base at a very, very competitive level. And also that we have determined a size of the plant, which is very a good volume and a good income and a good return on investment. And also we are standardized the whole thing compared to some other competitor who is tailor making all the plants by customer.
I see, thank you. And your project Köping Hydrogen Park is quite exciting and is set to be one of the largest hydrogen projects in Europe. Can you tell us more about what that development means for Plagazi?
It means a lot, and it proves the need for hydrogen at the market. We established a large volume of 12,000 tons of hydrogen at this site in Köping, at the Köping Hydrogen Park, where we have takers of the hydrogen that is rushing to us to get the hydrogen directly at a competitive price and a very good price for us as well, the costs, and shows that there is a market. It's not just talks. So we are really happy to do this work and to be one of the largest hydrogen sites in Europe, where we need 10 megawatt to make this 50 megawatt hydrogen compared to 75 megawatt for electrolyzers for the same scope. In the same time, we are boosting the district heating in Köping and replacing an old combustion plant that's 50 years old. Thank you.
Perfect. It sounds like almost too good to be true, taking waste and turning it into green hydrogen, green gold, an asset. So solving two problems at the same time. Thank you very much for the presentation here today once again, and good luck going forward.
You will do our very best. Thank you.
Thank you.